Welcome back, everyone. Episode 8 of the Fitness Fundamentals podcast with myself, Keenan and Jared. Today, we are going to be ranking 20 chest exercises that ChatGPT gave us from S tier, being superior, all the way down to F tier, being practically useless. Before we get into that, we'll share some updates on our past lives this past week. So, want to get us started?
Yeah, so training hasn't been as frequent as I'd probably want, but because of that, my frequency is a little bit lower. I've been doing more full body full body workouts. So focusing on doing some kind of upper move, a lower body move, and then a core exercise, and then going through 2 rounds of that. Reason why I really like that, saves you a bunch of time doing an upper body move and then going to a lower body move. I really just wait for my breath to recover, make sure my muscles feel good for the next exercise. I'll go through like 2 or 3 rounds of that, and then been hopping on the rower a ton. So after I go through my first 3 exercises, I'll hop on the rower, do 500 meters, and then go through those same 3 for a second round of exercises. So, like for example, how I set it up, I'll do a push, like an incline bench press. I'll do some kind of single leg RDL, and then I'll power off press. And then the next set of 3 exercises that I have kind of counter into those exercises. So since I did bench press before, I'll do like a pull up. Since I did a single leg RDL, that's more of a hinge dominant move, or a lateral lunge. And then last one, if I did a pal off press, maybe I'll do a cable rotation. So that way you're getting different stimulus in different ways and not repeating the same movement patterns.
Yeah, I probably got like half of that because my Wi-Fi is cutting off. But
Wow, shit.
hopefully you can be hearing me fine. At least for the next few minutes. Hopefully, if
Yeah,
not, I'll change Wi-Fi's.
yeah,
But yeah, full body workouts are great and amazing. I believe that's what you said.
yes, yeah,
Okay, I
yeah.
do love full body too. Do you like to start with lower body or upper body first? Because I know for me personally, I love to start with a lower body exercise. For me, generally, lower body's
Mm.
harder, so I want to get that out of the way first.
Ah, yeah. I've never thought about it like real strategically. Typically, I like to ease into it a little bit more, so I'll start with an upper body, then lower body. I think there's benefits to both, but
Right.
I like the idea of like getting the hard one out the way. For me, I'm just like, all right, I'm starting this workout. Let me get my rhythm into it. So I start with upper body first.
My training has been going okay. I am officially in San Francisco, so I'm training at a gym called The Yard here. It's also the gym where I am working, coaching group fitness, and training my one-on-one clients as well. It's been a lot of fun here so far. I actually did lead a run club this morning. It's called Progression Run
Nice.
Club. Yep. San Francisco, ran Lake Merced, which is like a 4 mile loop, 4.5 mile loop. We ran it twice. But I won't lie, that was
Wow.
probably the hardest run that I've done in a while. I don't know why. I just felt
Why?
really
Why do you think it was so
off.
hard?
So the pacing was fine. I
Mm,
ran 10-minute pace for the first lap, first 4.5 miles. For the next lap, I ran at a 9-minute pace, which was comfortable during the time. But after, I don't know, I just felt super like fatigued. I actually took a nap. I had to sleep right after I ran. I have no idea
yeah.
why. So that's still something I'm trying to figure it out. Probably because I haven't been running consistently for the past couple of weeks. That could be a reason why.
Hmm.
But I still shouldn't be feeling like this.
Nutrition's been good.
Yeah, so I was thinking about that too. Sleep, recovery has been pretty good. Nutrition has been good, but I am technically recovering from a cold. That could be a reason why. So maybe
Yeah.
just a bunch of these different factors. New environment. It's been a while since I've been back, so all these
Yeah.
factors could be reasons why.
Really quick, talking about sleep. Did you see that new product Google's coming out with?
What is it? Tell me about it.
It's it's a sleep tracker that's supposed to be similar to the Whoop, but it's so much cheaper. So Whoop, I think, is like $280 to $300 a year subscription based model. Google is coming with the Fitbit Air for $99. and it's no subscription. If you want additional coaching, it's either $10 a month, or if you have their AI Pro or Google Gemini, if you pay for that, you get it automatically included. You get the
Wow.
AI coaching based on your sleep tracking. So it's on pre-order right now, but they're saying that this is going to be the Whoop killer, or
Mm.
Whoop's going to have to significantly lower their prices.
Whoop is pretty crazy. You pay for the band and you have to pay for a
Yeah,
subscription too, right?
yeah,
I wonder if the technology is any
yeah. You
different.
do. I mean, so Whoop's technology is a little bit better, um, but the basic biometrics like HRV, resting heart rate, kind of all those basic ones that you need that Whoop really emphasizes. You get that all on this new Google one. And then based on different habits and behaviors, I think that's where the AI coaching comes in. Whoop's gone to a direction where you could get your blood work done and then they give you advice based on your blood work. But if you're solely just trying to track like your steps and your sleep, and plus the Google still gives you a sleep score, I think that's going to be the way better, cheaper alternative. I think it does 95% of what a Whoop does for a fraction of the cost.
Yeah, I use a Apple Watch and it tracks duration of sleep, how much REM sleep, deep sleep, and time that I'm awake. But beyond
Mm,
that, I don't think it tracks HRV. It doesn't really track heart rate too closely. There's like an average that it gives you, but there's definitely ways that
yeah.
it can track better. And I'm sure the Whoop and maybe that Google device does that too. So yeah, something that I'll probably check out. Another sleep
Yeah.
device
And what's cool
that are
about it,
sorry, there's like a delay between
go
my
ahead, go
voice and
ahead.
yours.
We're good, we're good.
All right, we're gonna push through this Wi-Fi issue.
It's like we're
There's
news anchors.
yeah, right. There's this it's called eight sleep. I don't know if you heard of it.
Yeah, yeah, I have.
It's basically a pad that goes on top of your mattress and it cools and heats up depending on how you like it. And it sets the certain temperature so that when you wake up, it would warm up because I think our body responds with a wakefulness to heat. So the mattress will kind of undulate its temperature throughout the night. So that's pretty cool too. It's crazy how far technology has become.
Yeah, Eight Sleep is pretty good. And then there's another brand, I'm blanking on the name. They do a very similar thing, and I think they're a couple $100 cheaper, but they're cooling only. Yeah,
Am I
but
still cutting off?
yeah, you were cutting out on the last little portion there on the Eight Sleep. Oh, you sound better.
Do I sound better too? I'm back. Sorry for the delay. Hopefully the recording is not too blurry too, because we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm here for 3 months, so I'll figure it out. Let's get into the chest exercises.
Yeah, let's do it.
Ranking from S tier, superior, A, B, C, D, E, all the way down to F. First exercise, incline dumbbell press.
Incline dumbbell press. Easy S tier.
S tier? Yes, sir.
It's hard to believe that there's gonna be a better exercise
Yep.
as far as chest goes. A lot of times for chest, you want upper body or upper chest development. And then in that incline position, using the dumbbells is really beneficial because each pec is working individually.
Exactly. And for the dumbbells, you can get that bigger stretch, right? Barbell restricts you. Dumbbell, you can go a little
Mhm.
bit lower and you can adjust the incline to whatever height you want, depending on how you feel. Great exercise. I agree with you. S tier. Push
Yeah.
ups.
Push ups. Ooh, this one will be a B tier for me. It's not as good as like an incline chest press, just based on not being able to get a full stretch at the bottom. Now, if you do an elevated push up, where sometimes I have like two small like steps on each side of my hands, now getting a really deep range of motion, that's definitely a lot better. But for just like a regular everyday push up, probably B tier. I think it's stimulating. It's fun to do. It's body weight exercise, which is great, but not quite an A or S tier for me.
Yeah, I agree. I would say C tier just because it's hard to progressively overload. Yes, you can put a
Yeah.
plate on the back, but that's pretty hard to manage. You can only go so far with that. And once you start lifting your feet up or introducing a deficit, it kind of becomes a different exercise. So for that reason, push-ups, yeah, I'd probably give it a C.
Yeah.
Next one, machine chest press.
Machine chest press. Is that like or we're talking the seated one that goes like this?
Yeah, it's kind of vague. I would just say a typical commercial gym, so like a hammer strength machine chest
Yeah.
press, where you kind of
Hmm.
load it with pins. One of
Yeah.
those typical ones. Yeah.
Oh, one of the ones you load with pins. Well, so there's a couple that I've messed with. So there's one that's a little bit more upright, and then two handles here, and it comes more straight horizontal. That one I like. I'm able to get a decent stretch on that one. I would say probably high B tier. Now the one that has kind of the angle arms like this, you hold on to this and they come up at an angle, more of an incline. I would say that one's A tier for me. You could get a good stretch and then you could load it a ton.
Yeah. In general, I think machine chest presses are very easy to progressively overload
Yeah.
because of the ease of putting the pin. So like you don't have to go up and grab another dumbbell. It kind of forces you, okay, if one set was easy, for my next set, I'm gonna increase the weight.
Hmm.
So yeah, I agree with you. A tier, I would say.
Hmm.
Um, However, it depends on the machine. Some machines are pretty crappy. They
Yeah.
don't converge, so they kind of just go straight out.
Hmm.
And one of the actions of your chest is to also converge your arms, right?
Yeah.
abduct your arms. So it depends on the machine. Have you ever tried the hoist chest press?
No, but I heard Hoist they're like the best brand for machines.
Really? I heard that hoist as a brand sucks, but the chest press machine is like fantastic.
Maybe I'm mixing up with a different brand, but the chest press is. Have you tried it before?
Yeah, so one of the gyms that I did like a free 3 day trial on, all the machines were hoist because it's a crunch.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure a lot of crunches use hoist. The other machines pretty crappy, but the chest press machine, the reason why it's so good is because the backrest moves as you press,
Oh, that's neat.
right? So as you lower your hands down, your chest sinks in. So that will create that bigger stretch. And then
Yeah.
when you press out, the backrest moves backwards. So it just
Wow.
feels like amazing. It's a really good machine. So if you ever have a chance to use a hoist chest press machine, I would highly recommend you use it.
Nice, nice. There you go.
Yeah. Flat dumbbell press.
Flat dumbbell press, I would still give it an S tier. Because easy to progressively overload. Um, each pec is working individually, and you could get a really deep stretch on that move.
Yeah, agreed. Have you heard of like the study where they tracked the difference between incline and flat, and they actually showed that incline grows both your upper and middle chest just as much as a flat dumbbell press.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I gotta look into that more, but apparently, of course, I can't rely on one specific study, but incline press are technically superior in the scientific literature. But I'll definitely
Yeah.
look into that. But
Okay.
yeah, flat dumbbell press, I would give it an A tier just because of that. Not trying to be a
Yeah.
science nerd, but I'll give it an A tier instead of an
Yeah.
S.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next one is a band chest fly.
Band chest fly. Uh F tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really load it too much. The tension curve isn't that good. Um Hard to set up, awkward. Yeah. I would only ever use it. Someone's having a lot of shoulder pain and they need to lessen the load a little bit on flies and maybe need a different resistance curve. That's kind of the only practical way I would think about using it. Maybe a warm up. What are your thoughts?
Purely for chest growth, which is kind of what we're ranking today, F
Yeah.
tier. But if you're doing it as like an activation drill before a bench day, I understand why. but purely for chest growth and hypertrophy because of the resistance curve where it's easiest at the stretch, hardest at the top in the contraction. It's basically the reverse of what you want for growing muscle or hypertrophy. For that reason, yeah, F tier. Next one. Ooh, classic. Barbell bench press.
Barbell bench press, it would go A tier for me. Because you're extremely strong in that positioning, and you could load it up. It's one of the big threes.
One of the big threes.
Bench
Yep.
press, squat, deadlift. It's one of the big threes for a reason. You could load a ton of weight through your chest, and I mean, I always remember when I was starting to work out and got barbell bench press. I was like, you could lay down and work out. I really like that that concept.
Yep. What's your best bench?
I think 275 was my best.
275? Damn.
Yeah,
When was
yeah.
that? College?
That was around the time um, when we were doing the 5 rep max testing. There was one day I was feeling really good, and my cousin was visiting, and we just all hopped in the gym, and then we're like, you know what? Let's
Hmm.
test our 1 rep max.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It was like in between like 265 and 275. It was
Yeah.
around there.
Do you have
Yeah.
a goal of ever getting up to 315, three plates?
That'd be great. I would say generally in my training I've never itched for a dream weight to hit
Hmm.
because I've never really trained um the big three, honestly. Like I've never done 5 sets of 5. I've been a little bit more come from a basketball background, so it's been more of
Yeah.
like explosive style training. But yeah, it'd be cool to say when I'm in my 80s, be like, I threw
Yeah.
up 315 on bench press. I gotta have that for when the young kids come up to me.
Yeah. If you were to choose between a 315
Ooh.
bench, a 405 squat, or a 495 deadlift, so three plates, four plates, five plates, which one would you choose? You can only have one.
I would choose a 405 squat,
Hmm.
but if you said a 500-pound deadlift, I'd rather take the deadlift.
You know, I'm inverse of you. I'll choose a 315 bench.
315 bench.
Yeah, I think that's like the epitome of like strength, a 315
Yeah,
bench. It's pretty
yeah,
absurd. Yeah.
that is absurd. Um, I also think for me though, the epitome of strength, let's say it's a 500-pound deadlift. I think the epitome of strength is there's a weight on the ground, pick it up, and
Yeah,
like
that's true.
that's like pretty cool too.
Yeah. What's your what's your top squat and deadlift? I don't think I ever asked you these questions.
Nothing. Oh yeah, it's nothing crazy. I think the most weight I've ever put on a squat was 275 in high school.
Same as your bench.
Right. I've never really like loaded squat or deadlift. I mean, the most I've ever deadlifted was in front of you for the 5 rep max testing
Mhm.
was 335. That was the most I've ever
Yeah.
put on the bar ever.
Yeah.
So I never really trained those movements. I mean, I train them in a different way, but I train them mainly for hypertrophy than strength.
Right.
So yeah, maybe I should sprinkle it in. I know
Yeah.
it's always fun to lift heavy, so
Maybe when I come back to San Diego and I start training for
woo!
strength, it'll give you that little itch to get into it and
Yeah, yeah,
train with me.
yeah. We got to start working out more together for sure.
Yeah. Well, we gotta wait 3 months, but yes, definitely when I'm back. But yeah, bar
Yeah.
bench press, I agree with you. A tier.
What
Next
about you? What
one.
are your maxes?
Oh, maxes. Bench press 245, and
Nice.
then surprisingly, squat and deadlifts are the same, 405, because when I was training for my squat, I didn't really train the other two. So my squat went up, my deadlift went up a little bit, bench went up a little bit. That's why squat and deadlift are pretty even. But also depends on your anatomy. I'm not trying to make an excuse, but I got really short arms.
Yeah, right.
So technically, my bench would be a little bit better relative to my other lifts, and my deadlift will be relatively lower because the amount of range of motion that I have to hinge down to get the bar is a lot more because of my short arms and long legs.
Right.
So it kind of depends too on your anatomy of like what you're good at, what you specialize in, and what you enjoy doing too. I love squatting, so there's a reason why my squat went up so high, but my bench and deadlift did not.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. When you did 405 deadlift, was it conventional or sumo?
Conventional,
Yeah.
conventional. So I never really
Wow.
understood. I've done sumo. The most I've done for sumo was 315, but beyond that, I never really tapped into sumo. I felt like it's a really weird position to be in because my feet are so
Yeah.
spread out. I don't know if
Right.
you've been playing around with both of them, but for me,
Yeah.
conventional just feels better. I don't get back pain, and I feel more stable and stronger in that position.
Wow. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that for sure.
Yeah. Do you train sumo?
I've never really trained sumo. Have I messed with it? Yeah. Um, but yeah, it's a lot of stretch on the inner thighs. I imagine when you load it, your back could definitely take over.
Yeah. Next exercise is a decline push-up. We kind of tapped on this a little bit, but now we're being specific on.
Yeah.
I assume decline push-up just means elevating your feet.
Yeah. This would be probably B tier still for me. This would be in the same category. I would have a push up.
Yeah.
I'll have the decline push up a little bit higher. Um,
B plus.
yeah, yeah, B plus. Not too much to comment. A little bit more range of motion. Um, and a little bit more isolation to the front part of your body and
Mhm.
taking some weight off of the lower part. So you could load it a little bit more.
Yeah. So I was thinking about this. It really depends on how high your feet are because you can progressively overload by elevating your feet more and more. But the more and more you elevate it, the more the load shifts onto your front delts. Because at
Yeah.
that point, you're pretty much doing like a handstand push up. If you think about like a fully elevated decline push up.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
so, for the purposes of hitting your chest, I would actually put decline push ups probably in the same exact category as regular push ups in the C probably for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next one, let's split this in two. It's a cable fly, but we have it from low to high and high to low.
Mm.
Let's do low to high first.
Low to high would be, I would put this at S tier.
Wow.
I was debating between A and S.
Yeah.
Um, this for me, because you're working on that upper pec, and that's what typically needs the most amount of development. Still able to get a good stretch. I would say as long as you could keep your torso positioning. Um, I really like this move. I definitely use it with clients. I even do in the middle on the cable fly, just right here,
Right.
coming together. Very easy to teach as a personal trainer. I just tell them, act like you're giving a big hug
Yep.
and then bring it back in. So a little bit more cueing is required for the cable fly from the low or high position. But for me in my training, I really like once you could keep the torso in the right position, keep the same arm angle, and not overcompensate. I really like the exercise.
I think I need to spend more time learning to do it properly because every time I do it, maybe the cables on in my gym are set too low so that when I pull up, it's using most of my front delts rather than my chest.
Mm, mm.
Maybe
What
if I
about the width of the cables? Are they pretty wide apart?
and yeah, that's another thing too. They're pretty narrow, so
Ah,
it's more of like a front delt, right? So I never actually done a low to high cable chest fly properly, so it's gonna be hard for me to give that rating. But if I were to rate the low to high chest fly machine that I have in my gym, specifically for chess, I don't know. I'm gonna give it like a C or D tier for
yeah,
that one specifically. So maybe
gotcha.
next time if I gym with you in a commercial or apartment gym,
Yeah,
you can teach me how to use it properly.
for sure, for sure. Yeah, definitely. What about high to low?
High to low, I love that one. Also because the one in my gym is amazing. It has a
Mm,
little back pad. So
Mm,
I pretty much stick my bum out to
yeah,
hit the pad, and then high to low just feels so good. Maybe because I'm also stronger in that position. Craziest stretch all the way out. Amazing
true.
contraction when you come in. For
Yeah.
me, that's got to be an S tier.
Yeah, yeah. The contraction's really good. I definitely feel I would say S tier. Man, I'll probably put low to high A tier. This one, S tier, because I totally feel my entire chest working when I do high to low.
Yeah, for sure. Um, since you mentioned, how about mid? So like a basically just
Yeah.
complete straight line.
Yeah. In the middle, I would put it at A tier for me.
Yeah,
Because you could still get that good stretch, and I do feel majority of my chest working when I do that. Um,
yeah,
And then just as a trainer, I typically just I would say 90% of 80 to 90% of the time I give that to my older clients. Just in the middle, they could still stay upright. And then like I said earlier, not a ton of cueing is needed.
right. Yeah, I agree with you. Next one, Smith machine. Let's do incline bench press. Smith incline press.
This one's S tier for me. Once you have it set up though.
Yes, once you have it set up. I don't know
It
why
takes
it's so like hard to set up. 1 inch you move becomes a completely different exercise.
it starts going to your chin and then you move it an inch and it's like below your chest.
Yeah,
Like what's going on here? So but once you have that perfect angle for your anatomy, it's a really excellent exercise, very stable, easy to load. Um I would say you don't get the best stretch compared to a dumbbell one, but you could still get a pretty good stretch on it.
yeah. For me, I still feel like I get a crazy stretch on the incline
Hmm.
compared to a regular barbell. Maybe because I tend to cheat less on a Smith machine.
Yeah,
It's not that
could
much
be.
like ego intensive as like a regular barbell bench press.
Right, right.
So just using lighter load, allowing me to get that full stretch, I'd give it an S tier. How about
Yeah.
flat? I never really done flat. Have you?
I've done it a handful of times, but I don't. It's not consistent in my training. Not because it's a bad exercise. I'd probably say A tier. I just like the incline a little bit more, as far as like stimulus goes to my upper chest. Flats, flats appropriate, especially if you're training by yourself. I would say you could bail, but you could bail on, I guess, barbell bench press too.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not as loud though. It's not
Yeah.
as loud in a big gym,
Yeah, I
but
didn't think about that. Smith machine is really easy to go to failure.
yeah,
You just hook it on, but on a barbell, it can get pretty scary. You got to dump the weights to the side or curl it up to your legs.
yeah, and you don't want to be that guy in the gym that's like falling over with the weights.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna ask you a really tough question.
Yeah,
Would you rather have an incline Smith press or an incline dumbbell press to do for the rest of your life?
I rather do dumbbell.
Mm, just because of that
I
stretch.
well, the stretch and the pecs are working individually.
Mm, I like that.
Yeah, so that's where I saw a ton of my development. Like all through college, I could not find a chest exercise that was good for me.
Mm,
Like I could not build my chest at all. And then once I started focusing on the incline dumbbell bench press, that's when I actually saw development in my chest.
yep. Yeah, I agree. I would rather have dumbbells, although the machines feel really good too.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Next one. I don't even know why this is in here, but one arm push-ups. I can't even do that. I give that an F because I can't do it.
Right. Yeah. F tier because I don't know, it's awkward, not a ton of range of motion. It's not yeah, no one like 95% of the population
Exactly.
can't. Yeah.
This one's good. Pec deck.
Pec deck. That's like a seated one and then
Yep.
pulling in. That one I like. I would put that in A tier
Yeah.
for sure because very stable, and then you could get a really good stretch on that one too. So,
Yeah.
and you could load it. So it kind of hits those big three.
Why not S?
Why not S? Good question.
Put it in
Hmm.
S. It's an S tier exercise.
Yeah, I guess it could be S tier. Yeah,
There you go. Making me happy, making me proud. I love the pec deck.
yeah, you
The
do.
only thing I hate about the pec deck is there's always a crazy line. I
Yeah.
walk into my school gym at like prime time, 3, 4 p.m. Dude, we have two pec deck machines. I swear to you, I've seen like close to 8 people line up for that machine.
No,
Yeah, and it's right when you walk into the gym too. So there's two pec decks right when you walk in on the right. There's just like line of kids just waiting for those two machines. So in
there's
that
no way.
case, maybe it's a little overrated, but it's kind of hard to mimic another exercise like that. Even if you grab cables, it's not going to be as stable. If you're going to grab dumbbells, the resistance curve is a little bit different. It's really hard to mimic the exact movement pattern and load of a pec deck from any other exercise. So that could be a reason why.
Yeah, I guess stability is what
Mhm.
separates it outside of the cable fly. But I think if you load the cable fly properly, you should feel stable enough.
True.
But no, but it is more taxing because you're having to use your back leg to kind of take your load, or pec deck, you're just seated. So
Mhm.
I can see that.
Yeah. Since we're on flies right now, let's rate dumbbell flies.
Dumbbell fly would be A or S for me.
Yeah.
Um, I would I'm gonna put S on it because you're very stable. You could overload it and you could get a really good stretch. That's kind of like my big three in deciding what is S tier. And I feel like it hits all those marks. It may be boring. It's a classic move. We've always heard of the dumbbell fly. So um, I still think it deserves to be an S tier.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but growing up and listening to a bunch of fitness content online, dumbbell flies had a lot of hate. Like
Yeah.
it was not an exercise that was like, oh, you have to have this in your program. And maybe it's still not like that right now, but back then it was like there's no tension at the top, so it doesn't hit your chest. But now,
Mm-hmm.
since all like the Dr. Mikes, the Jeff Nippers, they come in and they say the stretch is the most important, then somehow the dumbbell
Right.
fly climbed up the ranks to S tier.
That is
Bless you.
true. Thank you. That is definitely true, and I think you're gonna have to have a pushing pattern. You're gonna have to have a fly pattern in your chest training, and it's like the simplest, easiest barrier of entry to get a fly pattern in.
Yeah, and we also like to program that for mobility too, because it's very rare to get that arm all the way stretched. Um, so great exercise. Yeah, S tier.
Yeah, especially with people that work a desk job, being a little bit more rounded shoulder is just one way to open up your chest.
Mhm. Next one is dips or weighted dips with a chest bias. So I would assume that means a little bit wider grip and a slight lean forward.
Yeah, I would put this A tier for me. Um, Reason being, I have a ton of fun doing them. What I do is I'll bring my knees to my chest and then I'll lean forward. It almost turns into like a push up without your legs. Only reason why it's not S tier is just because I can't do that many reps of it.
Yeah,
I could do three really good ones and then my form goes. But if I could do, I would say like 6 to 12 reps of that. For me personally, I really like it, so I'd do S tier. But because it's hard, I would do A.
yeah, it's a really hard exercise. When I do a regular dip, so closer grip, chest up, I can load on like a 45 plate onto my weight belt pretty easily and knock out reps. But once I start bringing my knees up, wider grip, slight lean forward, becomes a really difficult exercise that I can't even imagine people who are just new to training doing an exercise like that and specifically
Yeah,
targeting their chest rather than their triceps. It's a really tough exercise. For that reason, I'd probably give it like a B tier. If you can do it, yeah, A, S tier. But just overall chest development for the average person, I give it a B tier.
yeah, I agree.
Next one. Did we do this one yet? Incline barbell bench press.
We didn't do incline, I don't think.
Okay, yeah. Next one, incline barbell bench press.
Incline would be S tier.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, Same reasons why I really like the barbell bench press. You could load it, you get a good stretch, and you're very stable. So for all those reasons, it's a classic move. If the Smith machine belongs to that category, so does the incline barbell bench press.
Agreed. The only issue I see with that, it's very easy for people to cheat and turn it into a flat press. If you lift your
Yes,
hips
yeah,
up and you have like an overarch, because what's the point of incline at that point? If you're gonna overarch your back, you're basically turning the incline to a flat. So if you do it properly, yeah, it's a great exercise.
100%. That's a good point.
ChatGPT struck gold with this one. Bosu ball push-ups.
Bosu ball push-ups. I wonder where they have the Bosu ball. I guess on your feet,
Let's I'm trying to think of this. Let's assume that the bouncy part is on the ground and you're holding the flat
holding the
facing you.
sides.
Yeah,
Uh, C tier, maybe.
I give it an F tier. Sorry.
You're too. I'm too nice.
Think about it. You're purely thinking about chest development, not no functional
Yeah,
stability. I'm thinking purely of developing your chest.
yeah. For that reason, it should probably belong down there. Yeah,
Yes, there you go.
yeah. I mean, I think it's good for. Yeah, I think I was thinking of functionally, you might get some shoulder stability from it. But we're not training shoulders or
Yeah,
stability. We're training the chest. So yeah, I'd say
yeah.
F tier.
Specifically for chest development. Yeah. Ooh, ChatGPT is going downhill from here. Plate press or a squeeze press. So you're basically holding a plate or holding one dumbbell in the middle and pressing up.
I think if there was a exercise to be very last and F tier, it'd probably be this one.
It's all triceps too. It's not even chest.
Yeah, there's no stimulus at all. I don't know. I feel like sometimes with exercises, people think it'd be like, I don't know, put inward pressure that your chest is engaging or your inner fibers of your chest. I see that sometimes. I'm like, no. Um, yeah, I would say, yeah, get triceps and then front delts.
Yeah, triceps and front delts because you're not moving your elbows out and in. It's just staying close to your body.
Yeah, it's just not fundamentally a function of the chest.
Exactly. Except for the squeeze, but that's just an isometric contraction, which is not the best for muscle growth. Next one, decline barbell bench press.
Probably C tier.
Yeah.
Um, Decline, there's not really a lot of areas where I think decline's appropriate to have in your training. Only reason why this one is D is because you could load it a ton.
Yeah. You're probably stronger in a decline barbell than a flat.
Yeah,
And I think the lower chest gets worked enough. I mean, if you're already doing dips, even if you're doing a flat press, a
yeah.
decline barbell is a little bit redundant, but it can still grow your chest. It's a solid exercise. I'd put it at like a B too.
I also don't think anyone's like, "Ooh, I love my overdeveloped lower pecs." Like,
Right. All right, last
also,
two. Yeah,
I also hate having my head down like that.
it's a little weird, yeah.
Yeah,
And you got to put your legs up into those little, crunch machine things.
it takes some trust for sure.
Yeah, that too, yeah. All right, last two. Single arm cable press. Trying to think how you set this up.
Just like in here, like this.
Probably, or I'm thinking it's a standing position, um, in kind of like a split stance, pressing one arm straight ahead.
Yeah, I would say C tier.
Yeah.
I think you could load it. I think you could get a good stretch, but due to the lack of stability, it'd go in C tier for me.
All right. Last one, guillotine press.
Which one's that one?
pretty sure that's the one where you lower the barbell. It's called guillotine because you lower it to your neck.
Ah, yeah. I've seen Dr. Mike. He talks about this one. He likes
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I've personally never done it, so I'm not too sure.
Yeah, just based on the overall, I guess, movement pattern of it, I'd actually rank it pretty high because you're going pretty low. I mean, you're going all the way down to your neck. The only issue I have with that is safety, which is,
Hmm.
how are you gonna bail when the barbell's right at your neck? It's a little bit scary. But
But
the movement pattern of it is very similar to a regular barbell bench press. Yeah, so I give it like a B tier, B tier, A tier.
yeah, and you really hit those upper fibers on it.
Yes, that's it.
But yeah, do not load it a ton.
Do you have any other exercise that I did not mention that you wanna add on to the list?
Any other exercises I did? I guess one that came to mind was a push up with a medicine ball underneath your hand.
Right.
I like that a little bit. I would say like C or B tier because you could semi isolate one side,
My
but
introduction to that exercise was during like
yeah,
basketball practice
yeah,
because that's like a really easy thing that you can tell that the coaches would tell us to do is grab a basketball, one arm on the ground, one arm on the basketball, just knock out push-ups. That's how I got introduced to that exercise.
nice, nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I like that one because you could isolate one side a little bit if you want to switch up push-ups. Um, I think I talked briefly about elevated push-ups. I really like those because you could get an absurd stretch on that. Um,
Elevating your hands, right?
hands,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I love those.
I I go through some mental battles on that one. Like it really pushes me, and when I give it to my clients, like even if it's just 2 inches thicker, they're like that little bit really makes a difference.
Makes a huge difference. Yeah, and that's basically the point where it's the hardest to generate power too. And people are not
Exactly.
generally not even used to that position. So training in like deep ranges of motion, which is something that both of us have been really focused on for all exercises, is great to improve not only your overall strength but mobility too.
Yep. Yep. Stimulates the most amount of muscle in that stretch position, and your joints feel a lot better, and you don't have to use as much weight. A lot of
Yeah, that's
times
it.
you turn into an ego lifter and think you're making progress, but you could be overcompensating with other muscle groups. So training full range of motion is really good.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, that's episode 8. Doing good.
Well,
See you guys maybe next week. I'll be in
yep.
Greece, so maybe we'll get an episode
Woo!
out.
That's exciting.
Yeah. All right.